Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to talk about some astrology, and I'm picking out 3 aspects and a storyline that I see happening with us. And I'm going to start with Mars sextile Saturn, and then Mercury square Neptune, and then Venus sextile Chiron. So remember the sextiles, we have to put some effort into that. Those 2 parts of our life will be stimulated, but we have to actually, consciously take the steps. But that square from Mercury to Neptune might be in an uncomfortable situation or just an uncomfortable thought process, but we can learn so much from that. All right, so my name's Karen, and this is the 9th House Journey channel, and welcome. And I have an email group where we discuss each month a certain aspect. Of course, this month is a solar eclipse, so if you want to be involved in that, my email address is in the description. Just send me a little message. All right, thanks. So, Mars sextile Saturn is feeling this level, like a deeper commitment perhaps to a decision we've been making maybe for the last 2 years. Like, the need to make a decision became apparent, and now we're kind of closing in on what we need to do about a situation in our lives. And Mars is maybe digging up some of that emotion that can be a little intense, but gosh, it's really gonna help if we can, on purpose, kind of use those deep emotions to really make that decision more structured. Okay, let's consider, okay, I'm ready now. Like, I've really explored my deep feelings. Or perhaps you could feel the complete opposite of this. But I'm kind of describe a way to look at it that might be productive towards overall evolution of the self, right? Because that's what I like to do. So, the thing about Scorpio is that we always want to make sure we're really into it. Okay, we have to be truthful with ourselves. Like, are we really committing to something that makes us feel good? Or is it out of some sort of should, or expectation from a partner or somebody we're deeply merged with? It's time for us to be real with ourselves and dig deep with ourselves and decide. And that decision, again, it doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm going to decide and then tomorrow I'm going to do it. It can be, all right, I feel this commitment to my decision, and I'm just going to let that steep for a while and then make some very slow progress towards my decision. Because it's an inside job, right? We have to decide with ourselves first. We have to feel for ourselves first. We have to know first from the inside, and then life responds to us according to that. So this is the time to, get truthful with ourselves for the journey. All right, and then the next thing is Mercury squaring Neptune. Now, Mercury is, helping us understand what we've been through all year, what Jupiter has helped us experience all year, and then what has come to light in the past month about our experiences. So Mercury is now saying, all right, I'm pulling it all together. I'm going to pull all the facts together, although Mercury's not super excited about being in Sagittarius, because Sagittarius likes to look at, the horizon, like where we're going, and Mercury's used to collecting details. Sag is not really into details. So it's an awkward, maybe, experience for our minds, but, it's really worth assessing what we've learned this year about the new experiences that came into our life. And let's just check as Mercury squares Neptune in Pisces. Now, Neptune's been in Pisces for a long time, right? Like we've had to address our inspirations, our delusions, our faith. How is our faith? Or do we feel a faith in ourselves in life as well? And now we're looking back over the past year and what we've learned, and we're just going to check in again. All right, are these facts, or these experiences that I've collected and what I've learned from them, are they actually matching with the inspiration that I want to feel? Am I totally freaked out by the commitment I know I need to make to my decisions? And do I want to escape from that? Or am I remembering the magic that comes from being inspired with a really grounded base to it? I just love that. That's magic coming to life. And so we get the opportunity again to consider this. Now, Mercury moves fast, right? So it's not this elongated thing, but it's like a checkpoint. All right, let's just use it for that. And then we have Venus sextiling Chiron. So that's, this nice calm energy, what we can open up to and receive, and what we can attract to ourselves, and what we really want, and that's she's moving into Aquarius, right? So we have a great opportunity to kind of get these higher perspectives on what we want, and also to see what this Chiron experience is all about in Aries. That's what we identify with, and maybe the actions we want to take, and how we feel about ourselves and who we are. And so we get this really nice energy here, kind of poking that and saying, hey, how you feeling about yourself? And what is coming up around maybe embarrassment about the self, or shame, or just feeling like you're weird, as David Palmer, the Leo King, likes to talk about. Gosh, I love him. You should totally check out his work. It's amazing. So, Venus here is saying, all right, let's look at ourselves from this higher perspective. And maybe all the times that we were tempted and maybe went through with self-judgment and hiding ourselves, since Chiron went into Aries, I guess last year, and kind of being like, oh, I hate when I do that, or, oh, I'm so vulnerable in this part of my life, and, I can't be strong. Maybe we had these kinds of feelings of weakness. And, Venus is here helping us, but also, let's just look at that for a second. Don't we all know people who are quirky? Don't we? And don't we just love that about them? Even if it's annoying, isn't it like, oh, that's so him, or that's so her? And, that's the part of them that, one of the things that we miss about them when they're not around, but that's true for us too. We have our quirks and, our weirdnesses, and people love us for that, and maybe we don't realize that. And maybe Venus in Aquarius is going to, remind us that there's people out there that really love the things that maybe we're embarrassed about with ourselves. So let's just open up to that possibility that you are really loved, that we are really loved for who we are in all our stages. And let's then also use that calm, loving perspective to accept the things that we're maybe ashamed of about ourselves. Can we just put the shame on hold for a minute and entertain the thought that, hey, this is like a vulnerability that I have, but gosh, it's really useful because it helps me empathize with people. It helps me recognize situations where you know, people need help or where I need help, and I can really use that to make a difference in my life and make a difference in other people's lives by being there for them to help support who they are, and then return, you know, using the compassion that I've learned from myself to help other people in a compassionate way. So there's the storyline. You know, we're in this process right now with the eclipse, and then with the Saturn Pluto conjunction in a month, less than a month. Okay, these big decision that is gonna like possibly cement, you know, in our lives. And let's dig deep. Let's make sure that, you know, we're being honest with ourselves. Let's check for escapism and delusion and make sure that we're working with inspiration instead, and learn about all that we've experienced this year. And let's love ourselves and love each other for our weirdnesses, and really celebrate the differences that we have, and you know, that Aquarius genius that comes in a non-traditional forms, perhaps. Right? And let's detach a little bit with that Venus in Aquarius. Let's just step back and take in the big picture before we start doing that, making that magic in our life. Let's make sure it's the right magic for us. Okay, so this was part A. Part 1. Tomorrow I will talk about this perspective from the elements, if that's helpful for you. All right, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. So much love. Bye.